everyone, it's Cynthia from Purgatory Paranormal. I hope you're having a great Sunday morning. Thank you so much for stopping by. As the title of the video says, I'm here to tell you what the heck I'm doing here. I get this question now and then from people. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? And what is all that? And I thought I'd give you a little insight into what I do and how you can do it too for not really a lot of money if you're interested in it. I've had paranormal experiences since I was 5 years old, and the question that I and everyone else in the community asks that we're trying to answer is, can we speak to the dead? Can you speak to the spirits of those who have passed? That's a question that we're always trying to answer too. And even though some of us are further along the trajectory and we believe that we can, that is the main question. So that's the same question that some of you out there have, that skeptics have, and we're trying to answer it as well. Then once you believe that you can, then the next question is how. So the how and the theory that we're trying to use and prove is that we can use what we consider hacked radios, which are just radios that are set to scan through the stations and the white noise in between without stopping, in order to give the spirits the ability to speak to us. Can we speak to them that way? That's what we are trying to do and prove. If you believe that when we leave this physical form we become light and energy, then can the spirits use that energy to speak to us, and can they use the light that is now part of what they are to appear to us? So those of us that have had paranormal experiences, well, a lot of us believe that yes, that is definitely a possibility. You can't rule it out, so can we maybe one day prove it? So basically the equipment that I use that I've also been asked about are these radios here. I have a whole bunch of these radios that I've actually learned to hack myself, so I'm kind of proud of myself there. And the radios are old. They're all from the 1990s, let's say. And they're able to be set up so that they will scan for us. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know what that sounds like. Now, another thing that we do is we use, see this amp back here? This is a Fender Bullet 150. It's one of my son's amps. Well, it was. I stole it. But he's got enough amps. And I use the amp along with this noise killer pedal. I'll also give you a picture of that. The noise killer pedal, and sometimes I just want to have a quieter session. And what the amp and the pedal will do is they will cut down the white noise and just leave mainly the voices. And then we listen to see if the spirits can manipulate the voices coming through on the radio. The reason we use the radios is because it's real time, it's live. We don't know what's going to come through. We don't know what the voices are saying on the radio. And so if they're manipulated and we get direct answers to our questions, then it's more likely that it can be construed as spirit contact, as opposed to, let's say, a bank of recorded phrases that are already in there, and then that phrase comes through. Well, is that spirit communication, or was it just that we caught the app at that moment? Now, there are some apps out there that are very good because, number one, the apps are actually playing real radios on the other end. So basically, for free, you're getting what we've set up here already, and that's great. And there's also apps that only use sound bites, not words, not sentences, just it, up, or just sound bites. If that gets formed into an answer to a direct question, then you may be able to construe that as spirit communication. So there are apps that you can trust. But we use the radios and so that we have no question. Something comes through, it's the radio. I use the amp because sometimes I want to do a quieter session. Sometimes you just want to do a quieter session. Sometimes the family's asleep and I have to do a quieter session. So I will do the session with the amp. But I can tell you that that amp right there you can get on eBay for $50 today. The noise killer pedal is $30 to $36. One of these radios, maybe $50, maybe $65. There are people in our community that hack these radios and sell them on eBay at a very, very agreeable price. In fact, this radio, this Memorex radio, You can definitely get this on eBay for $65. You might even get a little speaker with it. Okay. Now, if you don't want a big amp like this in your house, this little amp here, this little green and white one, that's about $29. It's a miniature amp. It has the gain and the tone, whereas the big amp has the gain and the mid-range. However, it works great with some radios. And it's very small. It doesn't take up a lot of space. I know the big amp it's big, so if you don't have an area to put it, you can do this in a very small amount of space. What I'm telling you is that out there are expensive radios you can buy, fancy ones. They're pretty. They build them in beautiful old antique radio boxes, and if that's what you want to do, that's great. I'd love to have one of those fancy radios. They look beautiful, but inside, that's what's inside them. Amp, pedal, maybe 2 pedals, and a radio, or maybe 2 radios. That's what's inside those boxes. But like any other hobby, let's say if you want to consider it a hobby, you can get fancy, or you can be not fancy. Let's say if you're skiing, you can buy the inexpensive skis, or you can buy very, very expensive skis. Either way, you're still skiing down a hill. Just a personal preference. There are beautiful radios out there. Maybe one day I'll have someone build one for me. I'd like to have one of those cool fancy radios. They're neat. But in the meantime, I've gone for quantity. I've wanted to try as many different radios as I could. So I've learned how to hack them. But you don't have to. You can buy them already hacked. And you can either hook them up to just a little speaker. Some of them have their own speakers. What I'm saying to you is that you can do this for not a lot of money. And you just have to be patient and get used to what you're hearing. Give it some time. And enjoy it. So if you have any questions, let me know. I've been doing this for about a year and a half. I'm sure there are people out there that you can go to that have done it for a lot longer, have been involved in paranormal communications for a lot longer than I have. But I, as somebody who's had paranormal experiences since I was 5 years old, maybe I can give you some insight there. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments. Just let me know. And thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be doing a spirit box session later on with my new radio that I hacked, that I haven't seen hacked before, so I'm pretty excited about that. And have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday, and thanks for stopping by. Take care.